morning, guys. Welcome to Monday Morning Conversation with Nizzy. I'm Nizzy. I'm your girl who get excited about her Monday mornings and get high on coffee, right? Or sometimes tea. But I hope you have your Monday morning conversation with you because I do. And I'm excited about the second Monday of 2022. Yeah, happy new year if you didn't get to watch our last video, right? So I'm excited because the topic we're talking about, the topic we're reviewing today is the 8 steps to creating the life that you want. And guys, it's gonna be amazing. So stay tuned and let's get right into it, right? I'm glad to have Nick here with me. Right? Hey, Nick. Well, thank you. Last year, 2021, guys, we got together with my husband and we started this series called the 8 Steps to Creating the Life That You Want. We understand that in order for you to have the life that you want, you have to actually have a system, right? Have a process on how to make that happen, right? And we've been using these 8 steps since we started in business for ourselves like 12 years ago, right? And these 8 steps have helped us create the life that we want, help us raise our children the way we want to raise them, help us deal the way we deal with clients and, you know, our spiritual life. Everything is different because of that, okay? Not that we're not creating until those 8 steps. We were creating, but we were creating unconsciously. Yeah. Okay, so these 8 steps help us to be more aware and more conscious about what we were creating. And we wanted to review these 8 steps with you guys in the beginning of 2022 because the earlier we start, the better it is, right? For us to create the life that we want. So guys, I'm glad that you're here. Ladies, guys, anyone watching this, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad to be here with my husband as we go over the 8 steps to creating the life that you want.
Yes.
What are those 8 steps?
Right. Yeah, so the very first step that we talked about last year, if you think about it, is again, it's like you said, it's not something that we came up with. It's everyone, we are already doing this already. Right. Regardless if you know these 8 steps or not, that's how life works. So again, like you mentioned, once we were aware of it, now we were able to take control of certain stuff and we didn't let stuff, situation, you know, guide us.
Yes,
right?
Dictate our life, yeah.
So here are the steps, right? Everything in life starts with one thing. Words.
Right.
Then the words create thoughts, right? The thoughts in our head creates feelings and emotions, eventually the same thing, right? So words create your thoughts create feelings, right?
And feelings create decisions.
After decisions, then it comes to action,
right?
Okay? After your actions, once you take action over and over and over, eventually you do what's called a habit.
Habits,
okay?
Yes.
Your habits, you know, becomes who you are. So your habits are what form your character.
Okay.
Right? Your character can bring you to your destination. Right. So your current situation now is exactly where you're supposed to be because of those
8 steps, right? So without this last piece, destiny, there is no point of the first 7, right? So let's go back to words. What is it about words that we need to be careful with or we need to harness in order for us to, you know, like, because that's like, it seems like is the foundation. So what is it about words?
Yeah, you know, see, like it's the mother, father of all things, right? It's where everything starts.
Right.
Foundation, right? So, and everything that we can think of had started from something, from a place, and that place is the words. So the words are like seeds, like you and I, everything that we want in our lives, obviously at some point in our life, those things were spoken to us or we spoke them in our lives. Right. So nothing, if imagine, you know, if we want to invent a new chair, we're gonna start talking, oh, I need to invent a chair that, you know, a chair that looks like this. So we're talking about it first, right? Before we even start putting the blueprint, before we even start, you know, recruiting guys to help us build the chair, the first thought is, hey, we need to build a chair.
Okay, so
right?
we speak it first.
Speak it first, right?
In those words, and we talk about how words was like the people who are speaking into our lives, right? You know, the teachers, the pastors, the environment, the TV shows we watch, the social media, all of these things, the books we read, all of these things affect everything we do after.
After, exactly.
So words is not just you know, just us reading something. It is like who speaks into our lives. You know, the pastors, the teachers, our parents. What are we watching on TV? What are we reading on social media? All of these things affect the way the next step, right?
Steps, thoughts.
So which is thoughts. So about thoughts.
Thought is definitely, you know, if you think about it, like I always use this example, right? The bench, the chair that we're sitting on, or the car that you're driving on, or the phone that you're using right now, right?
Right.
You know, before it can manifest into this physical realm, you know, it's someone had to say, hey, I need to build a communication device, right? So the word spoken, and then that word eventually a thought came in, right? So how am I going to design this phone, right? The same thing too. If I want to become someone who's bold, who wants to, you know, I don't want to be shy anymore. If I was shy and I say, yeah, I need to change myself, right? So I gotta start thinking about, okay, how does someone bold acts like, right? So right. So thought is nothing that we see in this life came in without going through the thought process. Right. So but the thought process came in from what we've heard, from what we've
So we hear something, and we listen to something, or we watch something, and then we go and think about this stuff over and over and over again. Because we think about things a lot, right? We are prisoners to our own thoughts, right? Because we don't just think about it once. Something can happen one time. We can hear a word one time, and then we go and repeat it over and over and over again in our head, right? And that's what causes the next step, okay? Because it's our thoughts that create the next step, which is feelings, right? And emotions. Because as you stay and think about these things over and over again, they building these kind of emotions and feelings inside of you. And feelings, like you said, is
the language
feelings is the language of the soul. It's literally how our spiritual or higher selves communicate with us. Right? So if you want to know about anything, if you want to make a decision about anything, you want to like do something, you go through your feelings. Because if it doesn't feel good to you, it's not right, usually, right? If you don't feel good about it, I mean, your feelings literally is what push you for the next step, which is decisions.
Right. And again, keep in mind, you said something earlier too in the thought process that's key too, because it's part of us creating or part of creating the life that we want has to do a lot with repetition. Right? So yeah, we're not saying that if you hear a word one time, it's you playing that thought in your head over and over and over and over. Eventually your higher self will pick up, okay, so you want to do this. Kind of like when you and I realize, YouTube, it's just feeding me what I want to hear.
Right.
If I want to learn how to create my own envelope, whenever I log into YouTube, there's a guy that's gonna say, so you want to learn how to create your own envelope? Here's this video.
Yes, feeding you what you want.
Right. So the mind is great at doing that because that's how we create our lives. So once you see a negative, something negative, right? And guess what? You see it once in your eyes, but in your mind, you see it so many times. And your mind says, so you like to think about negative thoughts. Here's one thought. Here's the news, right? Here's another one. Here's another one. And only realizing
powerful.
Right?
This is amazing. And wow.
Right? So
this is why we have to be careful,
exactly,
with what we're listening to, and wow.
Right?
That's a big deal.
So decisions, right? Positive decisions come from positive feelings. Positive feelings come from positive thinking. Positive thinking comes from positive words, right? And that's why we tell our kids, be careful who you hang on with, right?
Or what you listen to, what you're watching,
right?
So the first four we had were internal, right? Were basically like in the spirit, it's spiritual, right? The next one is where we bridge them together, where we take spiritual and bridge it with physical, right? Where how did you say it? Where they meet?
Where they meet is after decision, it's actions. Right? And action is the key to the physical world.
Right.
That's what connects the spiritual world to the physical world, right? Because if you think about it, everything.
The key.
It is the
it's
key,
the
right?
key to
it's
the
key.
spiritual world.
Nick, how do I manifest
the physical world?
Right?
Right. So how do you manifest your dreams? How do you manifest your goals?
Actions. right?
Whoa.
Right. And the thing is, we hear this a lot, like, we hear it a lot from motivational speakers.
Yes, we read it a lot. I mean, even the Bible says it.
Love without works is dead. Right? I mean, I can't say if I say I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, but no action to back it. It's not.
It's not.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So what you're trying to say is, when someone said, I thought of buying you a gift.
Let's not go there.
I mean, it's the thought that counts.
I think someone just.
So you're saying that?
I think someone just turned off the video. Yeah.
Okay. So we need some action. So action is literally the next steps of like bridging the gap. You know, like making things happen. And what's after action?
After action, then we have our lovely.
Oh, habits. I knew you were coming up with that because habits is literally.
It's how we automate, put things on autopilot. See, if you think about life, our whole journey in life is how we can make things, how to make life better.
Right.
So and we make things better by putting things on autopilot. That's why with technology, the whole process is how can we put this on autopilot and we can move auto on. Our mind works the same way.
So you're saying that if we put our actions on autopilot, we create habits.
Well, we're already doing it already.
Okay.
Said is just we have to be conscious of what type of actions
we are taking,
right? What type of thoughts we are taking, and what type of friends we're inviting into our life, right?
So, because if you do something over and over and over again, it becomes a habit. Nobody think about brushing their teeth anymore, right?
It's
a habit, right? So I mean, if you keep listening to something over and over and over again, you're gonna think about it over and over and over again. You're gonna feel certain feelings because of that thoughts, right? You're gonna make certain decisions because of those feelings. You're gonna take certain action, and because of these certain actions, you're gonna build a habit.
And the habit can be a habit of success. It doesn't matter what it is. We are driven by habits, right? So and that's what is key is if someone want to change their current situation, we're gonna have to find a way to visit those 8 steps and start changing things that we're doing, right? Again, start from the beginning, from the words, the thoughts, the feelings, the decisions, and actions and habits, right? Because everything we do until today, until the moment we wake up, it's habits driven. Right.
So we are basically creatures of habits, and we've heard that a lot.
Of course, there's books. There's a book about
being creatures of
habits. Right.
Right. And then step number 7. What happened with all them habits? Right. You become something. What is that?
It's your character.
Your character.
Your character.
You become that person, right? Because character is basically all of our habits. Basically, it's who we become. Because of all of our habits, right? So character is you can think about, are you a person that shows up on time? Are you a person that keeps their words? Are you a person that's reliable, right? So that's like your character. So but that's because of your habits, right? That's because of your actions, right? If your action is you always show up on time, then your habit is no matter what, you're gonna be on time, right? And then you become a person that shows up on time, your character. Destiny is the last step. And destiny is literally what this whole thing is about, right? Because It's where do you want to go, right? Because we can take all of these 8 steps like a GPS. Right, we have this GPS. We put the words in there. Like we put the we pick up the address. We put it in there, right? So the GPS is taken, calculating where to go, whatever. Then we have the steps. We take the action. You understand all of these things. But if we don't even have a destination, what's the point? Yeah, there is. I mean, there's nothing to do if we don't have a destination to where we want to end up. Right? So destination is really the main thing. So once you know where you want to end up, then you start listening to the right stuff. Then you start, thinking about the correct stuff.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, and I hear a lot of people say life is not fair, and I get it. This is harsh saying it. like I remember speaking with someone and said life is not fair. I'm like, life is
exactly
fair. If you think about it. And I do understand someone saying life is not fair, where you're coming from, right? But if you were to understand, I mean, I love reading the Bible, right? And I remember I was talking to Sprinter, and we talked about how, if you look at what you've been reading, is the Bible has been telling that you are the creator of your life. You are God, right? Just Christ telling you, hey, the things I can do, you can do them much more, right? But we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But
no preaching here.
No. But life, we are exactly where we are because of what we've been doing, right? The story I like is the dad that went to jail. The dad had 2 sons. Okay, right. I don't know why he went to jail for, but he went to jail, and obviously he had 2 sons. Okay, both sons grew up later on. One son becomes very successful, and the other son is just like in jail,
like his dad.
Like that. And they were interviewing both sons. The one who becomes very successful, the person, the interviewer asked him, "Why are you so successful?" The son says, "Well, how else could I not become successful? Wasting of seeing my dad being the person he is, I had to do something different, right?" So he went in and interviewed the other son that's in jail. The son says, "Oh, well, you know what?" He asked, "Well, why are you where you are? How come you end up where you are?" The son says, "How else can I not end up where I am? I would be, being raised up by a dad who goes to jail back and forth. That was my path, right?" So both sons raised by the same parents, but 2 different destinies. What's the difference, right? Is life not fair to both of them? Who's life fair to? But each one of them took a different action, right? They did things different, and that's how. And that point, hey, each of them, life they went to a different destiny based on the habits, action, the environment that they saw themselves in, right? So in that sense, this is where you gotta think about, hey, God already had given me the ability, right, to create my life. Animals cannot change their environment. I can change my environment. I can change my friends, right? So this is not a co-preaching area, but in that sense, when I say life is perfectly fair, okay, because we have the tools to create the life that we want, and that's what I mean. We can change our situation. Right?
Yes, we can. Oh my goodness, I am so excited about these 8 steps. I'm so excited to share them with you guys again, so you can pick the 8 steps in the beginning of 2022, so you can go out there and create the life that you want, guys. I mean, you can choose the people that walks into your life and speak into your life, the social media outlet that you get to speak to you, the news outlet that you get to speak to you. You can choose that, and then you can start thinking about the positive things, think about things that's getting you to your destination, right? Because your thoughts are going to create you the way you feel, right? Your emotions, and you're going to be able to make smarter decisions, right? Take the actions that are going to push you towards your goals, right? Right? Having great habits, creating those habits that's going to consistently get you to where you want to go, right? Because with these habits, you're going to become the person you want to become with a great character. I hope you were drinking some coffee with us, right? I'm glad to have you here, Nick. Hopefully you get to come back with us many more times in 2022. And guys, as always, go out there and enjoy the rest of your Monday. Take control of your life. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.